Hello everyone, this is Games Daily Show. I am Victor Vogt. Our last episode was okay, it was nice, we were able to touch some certain issues, but we are still on the COVID-19, the coronavirus. It's spreading and I can say we're having a lot of improvements, more recoveries than deaths. So far, reports have it South Africa with over 1,187 confirmed infections and one death. The country of South Africa has the highest number of confirmed infections on the continent. So far, we have more than 1,000 confirmed infections and one death. So we could see that there is a lot of improvement, and we have more than 30 recoveries. I think I have Mr Amaka Ijeoma on video chat from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm going to bring him on screen. But so far, let's talk about the South African 1 meter distance campaign. It's a laudable idea that the government is putting in place, because you see the South African president putting his effort to make sure that the virus is contained. And you could see that even along the street, people are still stubborn. The government is putting all their efforts to see that, okay, just like we're not even staying 1 meter apart, cannot, like I was going with somebody on phone and he said, just like that we stay 1 meter apart, it's not enough. What about places that are overcrowded? There are some places in South Africa, even here in Nigeria, places like Oshodi, places like Mushin, all those areas, overcrowded. Let's talk about cable now in Asaba, for example. How are you going to do it? Do you understand that? So I think let me see if I can connect with Mr Ijeoma. I think yes. How is South Africa? Yes, taking the coronavirus. How is South Africa taking the coronavirus?
To a large extent, I would say we are taking it very seriously. That's one. The government has been very proactive. It's been a daily update from virtually every minister. The president has been on TV, I would say, every day giving updates, and it's giving people that sense of confidence in the government. And I would say, yes, from the government, they've been up to the task. And the people as well, to a very large extent, we do understand how serious this thing is. We understand that we're not immune to it. And generally, people have taken it very seriously. Currently, we've recorded just over 1,187 confirmed cases, with one confirmed death that is associated to the virus, and we have about 31 recoveries so far. We are on the third day of a 21-day lockdown, and we're hoping that if we're able to manage the situation, it will not exceed the 21 days. That is the current situation as it affects the virus.
Let's look at yourself. Have there been any form of incidents? Have you encountered anyone personally, met somebody or someone that's very close to you?
Personally encountered, yes, quite a few. The popular ones would be one of our big pastors currently has tested positive. We have one of the leaders of a political party who's also positive. We are exposed to tourists every now and then, and quite a number of them have been positive. So personally, yes, if you ask me if friends and family have tested positive, there's been none, but we have quite a few who are either in self-isolation or yes, I would say none personally, but do I know quite a few? Yes, I do know quite a few who have been positive.
Okay, now thank you very much. Now let's look at the government so far. What is the government putting into consideration to see that the whole thing is well controlled? What is the government putting in? What are they putting in place? What is the government putting in place?
Firstly, you must understand that the country itself is facing serious financial difficulties.
Yeah, there's also here in Nigeria. Yeah, also here in Nigeria.
What they've done firstly is to take the beggars and the homeless off the street. They've created some kind of shelter where they take care of them and feed them as much as we know. But in terms of elevating the challenges people face or people will face as we speak, none yet.
Okay.
Do we think that something will happen? We sort of trust the government to make provision for the people.
Okay.
We know the banks have stepped into this discussion to either create like a payment holiday where if you owe in terms of loans, bonds or car repayment, they create, I think it's 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. We're not really certain, but in the coming few days or weeks we'll have clarity on how debtors repay and what the banks will do to sort of, cushion the effects of the next few weeks.
Okay, now the other one is because the other, okay, I was watching the news and you see there was a case of the officers, police. They were shooting rubber bullets at people who went for shopping. They don't want to follow the government stipulated laws to stay safe and avoid more crowd. And it seems the people are very, very stubborn. What have you to say about that?
To a large extent, we are. Like I said, the nation understands the seriousness of this situation. So to a large extent, we are. But the challenge is, and like you'd experience in Nigeria, how do you isolate or quarantine people who live in densely populated areas? A place like Oshodi, for instance, which would equal a place like, say, Hillbrow in Johannesburg, or a place like, Ajegule, for instance, where people live less than 1 meter away from other people. How do you practice social distancing? It's not a measure that would ordinarily work for such places. I mean, we touch the same railings, we hold the same doors to public vehicles, we share virtually everything, and it's not just about the distance between one person to the other. It's the things that you share. Like I said, door handles, you can name them. So it's really difficult. For those who stay in, say, suburbs, who can afford to stay in an apartment of their own, yes, you might not see your neighbor for the next few weeks. In terms of survival, you have those who, say transporters, for instance, who earn a day-to-day. How are they expected to survive? So the question on how or why people do not adhere to it would not be that people don't want to adhere to it. It's just circumstances that exceeds their control that would make it impossible for them just to adhere to it. And you will see it happen virtually everywhere. It happened in Lagos as it's happening here.
Okay, now, finally, what's your advice to your fellow South Africans?
The advice is straight up. We don't have an answer. We don't have a vaccine for this virus. Every government, including Nigerian government, is trying the best they can. Today, the only thing we know is that if you isolate yourself, even if you're positive, what it does is it just curtails the spread of the virus, and then they can treat those people who test positive. The advice would, let's just adhere. Two cannot work together except they agree. So in this case, we're working together with every government, and that's the only way. And day by day, we will adjust as the situation, presents itself, and somewhere, somehow, we'll be able to beat this situation. But anarchy, chaos, confusion, fake news, panic, fear will not help. If it's to try and lock down, if we know how best to lock down, we just lock down or isolate ourselves and see how the next few weeks play out.
Alright, so far that's Michael Ijeoma Amaka from South Africa, Johannesburg to be precise. And you can see the effort the government is putting to see that the virus is massively contained. President Muhammadu Buhari to address the nation by 7 p.m. on local TV stations. The difference between The difference between his broadcast and the global prayer broadcast is that we are not sure if we are going to get up to 3 billion viewers. Alright, so far you can see that the government is trying to put their best. That much we can take for now on Glimpse Daily Show. Until I meet you again, I am Victor Vote, and stay safe, stay safe, stay safe.